Hey guys, we have three main aspects happening this week. We have some energetic shifts going on, two planets changing signs. We have Mercury and Uranus conjunct in the sky. We have a grand cross and fixed signs that is again being activated, this time by Venus. Major emphasis on love, money, romance, relationships, partnerships, value, worth, assets, resources. We're going to want to watch going a bit over the top this week, maybe biting off a bit more than we can chew, sort of being tempted into maybe overindulging in some things or falling back into some past patterns that we know are not in our best interest. Lots of information that we need to get into this week. Very transformative week, very regenerative week. Also moving forward, cutting ties, allowing ourselves to sort of begin to really embrace the new version of ourselves that is trying to surface and grow right now. So Mercury and Uranus together, lots of information about to be coming at you guys fast. Let's get into this report. Let's look at the energy as we are opening this week, what we can anticipate throughout the course of this week, these three transits that are going on, and also the energy today and what things might be looking like for us on the ground. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Monday, June 5th, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages, looking at the energy as it's coming together on a daily basis in the context of our constantly and perpetually unfolding cosmic blueprint that is right now transitioning us into the age of Aquarius. How do these activations that are happening, the transits that are happening in real time now, what role are they playing in this greater overall conscious awakening, conscious evolution, as a result of where we're at right now in the turning pages of this cosmic blueprint? So that's what we do on this channel. That's what I do personally all the time, which is why I made this channel. But we're talking today about June 5th. 2023 and the energy that is associated with that, the transits that we have coming together. And we're also, since this is a Monday video, we are going to address the overall energy of this week as well. Like I said in my intro, there are three primary things that we have happening this week. We have two planets changing signs. That's a lot of shifting vibration that we have going on this week. We start our week on Monday with Venus entering the sign of Leo. You guys, this is bringing us our summer of love that I feel like we have going on right now. We've got Jupiter in the sign of Taurus right now, which is ruled by Venus, who is entering Leo as of today. Mars is also in the sign of Leo. Leo is the sign of the sun. This sign is all about, first of all, creativity. Is honestly like creative energy in all capacities is off the charts this summer. We also, this is also just like a lot of really positive energy for any type of romance or just like fun or celebration or like gameplay, like huge desire to kind of like celebrate life, to just have like a more kind of like jovial and creative and energized approach to like whatever we have going on, like a real strong desire to just want to have fun. And this will also put sort of an emphasis on like the arts and drama and music and stuff like that, entertainment generally. So it's going to be, and this is a very like feisty, fiery, lively, passionate energy as well. Passions are likely to be running very, very high throughout the course of this summer. But with Venus now, Venus is what we love. Venus is what we desire. This is people wanting to have a good time. Mars there as well. This is the divine feminine, divine masculine coming together in the same sign, all about celebrating life, all about having a good time, all about doing what makes us feel alive, putting ourselves in a position to like shine. This is like opening that like heart chakra, heart center energy as well, in kind of like a very balanced way, because we have both the feminine and the masculine in the sign of Leo. Venus is making an extended transit of Leo because she will be retrograding in Leo. And you guys, wherever you have Leo in your chart, this is an area of life that you are likely to just have some good positive things going on. Remember, Venus is of course love, and Venus is of course money as well. So there could just be some like positive blessings, financial blessings, relationship blessings that are happening for you somehow in whatever area of life. Like I said, you happen to have Leo. So as Venus transits Leo in your chart, it's gonna do that thing that like bringing you back to life and like this creative inspiration. And Jupiter, as I said, also in the sign of Taurus right now, which is ruled by Venus. So Jupiter in a Venusian sign as well. This is also like really expanding this Venus Leo energy and in the regard of Jupiter in Taurus, it's also helping to like give us an expanded sense of like our own potential and like our faith and trust in our own ability to like cultivate and create from that potential that is represented through the Taurian energy, as Venus, ruler of the sign of Taurus, is transiting the sign of Leo, all about this creative stuff going on. Venus and Leo, especially this summer with Mars there as well, and this extended stay transit of Leo, like this is definitely giving Empress vibes to me, and I feel like we are just kind of going to be feeling more self-empowered and creative and alive as this energy activates within us and, you know, within the collective, and this frequency is just what we're dealing with from now, you know, throughout the next couple of months. So that's one of the things that we need to talk about that is happening this week. Venus entering the sign of Leo and the energetic shift that is definitely associated with that. Another thing that we need to talk about this week is, as a result, right, of Venus entering the sign of Leo, the second thing that is happening is that this grand cross and fixed signs that we are so familiar with by this point because of Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius right now, and the nodes at the very beginning of Taurus and Scorpio also, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, these are all fixed signs. The only one missing is Leo. So when we've been having these planets, first Mars and now Venus, hitting, you know, those very early degrees of the sign of Leo, it is setting off this grand cross in these fixed signs. We also have Jupiter in the sign of Taurus, which is expanding all of this energy as well. So this is something that we already dealt with Mars, and now Venus is coming through, okay? It's interesting though, and we're going to talk more about this as we get through this report and sort of break down this energy. It's very, very interesting that, you know, Venus in her pursuit of Mars right now, following this trajectory, hitting the opposition to Pluto, hitting the square to the north and the south nodes of the moon. Because if you remember, the north and the south nodes of the moon right now are in the signs of Taurus, the north node, Scorpio, the south node. Taurus, the north node, is ruled by Venus, right? Scorpio, the south node, is ruled by Pluto. And this has been, it takes the nodes of the moon about 1.5 years to go through and to transit signs, a nodal a sign axis. They're always in an exact polar opposition to each other, so they're always in opposing signs. And it takes 1.5 years for the nodes to transit those opposing signs. And the nodal axis we've been dealing with was Taurus and Scorpio. North node in Taurus, this is about a fated pursuit, okay, of potential and growth based in value and true worth in the sign of Taurus. And the south node in Scorpio, this is through a detachment to or from anything that has been essentially stealing our power, or that we have been surrendering our power to, or that we have been overly attached to in a way that has been blocking or preventing us from recognizing the truth of some type of value or of some type of worth that essentially unleashes a power within us to go through this process of growth in relation to the potential or the value or the worth that we're discovering. So the north node in Taurus, south node in Scorpio is very much a like karmic detox nodal transit. We are detaching from the things that have essentially like kept us in the dark or kept us attached to self-sabotaging patterns, or, you know, power and control dynamics, or, you know, a need to like own and possess out of a sense of like lack internally somehow, and showing us that we've always had what we needed inside of us, and helping us to take our own power back and apply it, you know, to that potential or that value or that worth that we're discovering, so that whatever it is can grow, and we are no longer dependent on like external whatever that we need to surrender our power to, you know, in order to feel like validated or to feel like we have enough or to feel safe or secure or whatever. You know, these Taurus Scorpio themes coming into play in the context of the nodes of the moon. The past, or the south node is the past, and the north node is the future. This is karma, the south node. This is destiny, the north node. Okay, so with the south node in Scorpio, we need to detach from these more scorpionic themes related to like power and loss and surrender. And we need to move towards a path of growth that is aligned with cultivating, recognizing, and coming to like understand the truth of a value or a potential or a worth within us and finding power through that in order to grow in a new direction as a result. Okay, so this past year and a half, you may have found yourself experiencing or encountering a lot of experiences where you feel like you had just come to the end of the road or something in some way, or you realize, you know, maybe a pattern or a cycle that you've been in, especially in regards to relationships or financial type of stuff like that, needs to end because it's blocking your ability to experience some type of authentic fulfillment or authentic growth. And like this is also like sort of like the end of facades. This is detaching ourselves from, also because of this presence of Uranus right now currently in the sign of Taurus, from anything that is like prohibiting us from coming into alignment with some type of an authentic truth as well in regards to that value or that potential that we're discovering inwardly. This is an energy that is coming through and that has been coming through throughout the course of the past year and a half that is really trying to activate our destiny, okay? That is really trying to take us out of one paradigm and one karmic cycle of behavior in specifically Taurus, Scorpio relationship, partnership, financial enmeshments and attachments and dimensions of our lives and experience, and show us a whole new way and like a whole new world based in authentic potential that we are discovering in and of ourselves, and our ability to translate that into value, into abundance, into self-empowerment, into manifest potential, okay, that really changes our lives also in one way or another. This is also based on a tremendous awakening happening in this same regard with Uranus also there. But you know, the reason that I kind of am going into a bit more detail on this nodal transit of Taurus and Scorpio right now that is coming to a close, we currently have the nodes of the moon at 4 degrees. The nodes always move backwards. So when the nodes are moving, we're going 4, 3, 2, 1. That's where we're at right now. And then they're going to change and go into Libra and Aries. And so we are coming very, very close to the end of this year and a half long karmic detox process of the North Node Taurus, South Node Scorpio. And as this process is coming to a culmination, and as we are nearing the end of it, this activation, okay, that is happening now, is really sort of like turning up the heat on that and like finalizing it in a lot of ways. Like there could be some definite like cord cutting, if you need to like do energetic cord cutting or anything like that, very supported in this energy. Breaking addictions, sudden awakenings that are helping us to move on away from and out of situations that we've been bound to for long periods of time or felt like powerless without. This is also, you know, as I said, this channel is really about how these daily ongoings, these frequency-based changes that are happening via the transits coming through on a daily basis are contributing to our overall collective transition, evolution into the age of Aquarius right now. Now, of course, this is like, you know, a multi-100-year process, so we are only narrating a very small portion of that cosmic blueprint as it is playing out. But like, this karmic detox, okay, this past year and a half has been doing a lot to help us elevate our frequency by helping us to purge, release, overcome, heal old trauma as well that had been keeping us tied to those karmic cycles and those past patterns of frequency and resonance, which, you know, were blocking us from embracing and aligning with these new Aquarius frequencies that are coming on right now. You guys follow me? I know you're following me. But so as this is happening, as this is playing out, it may just seem like another day or another week that's going on, but like in the greater context, in the greater theme of things, scheme of things, in the greater like unfolding cosmic blueprint, you know, as it happens throughout time and space over this multi-100-year period, like this is a significant sort of like turn on that gear of that clock that is activating, you know, things in order to move us in that direction, because it really is putting the exclamation point on this karmic detox as it's been playing out. Things could be quite intense as a result of that, but there's a huge also Uranian quality to how this is coming together as well, because while Venus comes into the exact opposition to Pluto, while in the square to the nodes of the moon this week, while the north and the south nodes of the moon are in signs also ruled by Venus and Pluto, there could be some tense or surprising or like magical or just like very seemingly like fatedly feeling divinely aligned, divinely timed situations playing out that could really be bringing like the past and the future like into context, have us at a crossroads, or have us at a point where we are like, yes, like I got it, like I am ready to move on, like I understand, you know, what I need to do, like I know my next step, and I'm really ready to like embrace the new version of myself that I've been feeling emerge within me over this past period of time, and like start moving that direction. So very transformative energy this week, breakthrough energy this week, because it's the nodes of the moon, Taurus and Scorpio, and the rulers of that, Venus and Pluto in the opposition. There could be some very powerful encounters, or, you know, just relationship dynamics or conversations or like events playing out somehow that are changing things for us in such a way that is really like ushering us out of, and it's about desire as well, because we're talking about Venus, and we're also talking about Venus moving to the sign of Leo, the sign of the heart. Like if it is not what we truly desire in our heart in a very authentic way anymore, like there may be something coming through that is just like, you know what, I see the light and I'm ready to move on to this next part of my experience, and like that old thing is just not a part of that anymore and no longer defines me. We're definitely talking, you know, I called my my June overview Redefining Reality, because I really feel like that's kind of what we're doing. And, you know, we've been in the process, of course, of doing it throughout this past, you know, year and a half transit of the nodes through Taurus and Scorpio. And actually, you know, kind of ever since we had the big Saturn-Uranus square that kind of really defined 2020 that we had, or 2021 that we had going on as well. We've been in a very transitional energy for quite a while, but this, like I said, again, is sort of like that final breakthrough energy into embracing this new way that we want to be right now, because it makes us feel alive. Like it brings us back to life. It makes us feel alive. It makes us feel inspired. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel like celebrating life again in this summer of love with Venus and Mars transiting the sign of Leo. So that is the second, number two big thing that we have going on this week. And then the third big thing that we have going on this week on Sunday, so that'll be the last day that I'm including in this week, we have Mercury entering the sign of Gemini. So this is another like powerful shift. Mercury entering his home sign of Gemini, very mentalized energy this week. Even though we have a lot of this fixed energy going on and a lot of Taurus energy going on, and, you know, Taurus is this earth sign, we are very much up in our minds, caught in our minds, lightning fast thoughts, again, like epiphanies, flashes of insight, sudden knowings, things just sort of hitting us out of nowhere, random spontaneous solutions coming through, random conversations or interactions that have some type of eye-opening impact on us somehow, gaining some type of information that kind of maybe like really opens our eyes about something. This is also shocks. This is also surprises. This is expect the unexpected energy very much, but it's, you know, this could be a nervous energy, an anxious energy as well, with the Mercury-Uranus combination and Mercury entering the sign of Gemini. But really, you know, just a very alive mind, a very alive heart with Venus in the sign of Leo, and a very mentally stimulated, alive mental energy as well. So we are really probably feeling just very invigorated as we go through the week this week. And of course, that is also going to bring an energetic shift, because Mercury is leaving the sign of Taurus. This is probably going to shift like what we're talking about, what we're thinking about, more so from maybe like practical matters and things having to do with like work related things, or our projects, or, you know, assets, resources, what we're building, what we're working on, financial matters, maybe relationships and stuff like that, to options, alternatives, choices, decisions, new information, wanting to look at things from every perspective and viewpoint, wanting to consider like multiple opinions about stuff. This just, Mercury and Gemini really opens our mind, helps us to question things with a less stubborn and like willful and determined like attitude. More geared towards like looking in more places for more information to help us gain a better like overall understanding of things, to make better decisions when we have Mercury in the sign of Gemini. This is a strong mental energy. So a very social with Venus and Mars in the sign of Leo. After this week with Venus and Mars in the sign of Leo, Mercury in the sign of Gemini, this is a very social, again, social, outgoing, extroverted, fun-loving, life of the party type of energy going on, and people are going to be looking to connect, to relate, to share, to enjoy, to have a good time. And again, with Mercury and Uranus together, you know, we need to try to stay grounded as well, because this can be a very like flighty energy. And normally with, again, all this Taurus energy that's kind of grounding things out, that wouldn't be as much of an issue. But because Uranus is also in the sign of Taurus right now, it is just keeping things sort of maybe elevating just a couple inches above the ground. So staying grounded is going to help us as we go through this week as well. All about redefining ourselves, as I said, reinforcing what we've come to redefine as well, like really like stepping into those new shoes that we've realized that we are wearing. Shifting vibes, okay? We've got Venus entering Leo, we've got Mercury entering Gemini. Two shifting vibrations that we have going on this week. There could also be some big time temptations that are kind of poking their heads up and trying to maybe like lure us in. This is a bit of a seductive energy with the Pluto Venus opposition and also North Node Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. We want to be careful with overindulging in things, with over like eating, overspending, oversharing also could be something that is you know, something that we just kind of want to be a little bit conscious of this week. Highlight on love, money, projects, creations, romance for sure, with the Venus Leo energy coming in. Mentally stimulated, as I've been saying, social communicative, romance, passion running strong. And we are in this process this week, like I've been saying, of sort of like rediscovering our inner passions and our internal values and our preferences, and like how they're changing now and how that's changing us and what we want now as a result of that, and like really sort of moving towards that and moving away from how perhaps we've defined ourselves in the past. So there is a huge blast of this life force pulse creation energy that is coming through this first week. Creative inspiration, movement. This is not a stagnant energy with Venus and Mars in the sign of Leo. Like something like we need to move, we need to like get the energy flowing, okay? And we really need to be able to sort of like channel it into some type of creative force, however that resonates with us specifically. We are not letting fear hold us back anymore. Like I said, we're really sort of overcoming fears at this point in time, making plans, taking action, following our heart, moving ourselves forward, taking back power. We're literally coming to a point where we are able to stare into this darkness, right? And we are able to choose light, to choose truth, to choose wisdom, to consciously choose to not continue to perpetuate things that we know are no longer good for us. It's like we have come to the point where we are just ready to cut that cord. Like I've been saying, these deep fundamental transformations happening on a heart-based, value-based level that really changes everything for us. This is this life-changing stuff that is coming through right now, and likely perhaps through some type of sudden mental or conscious awakening that hits us out of nowhere as well. We're escaping from hell. This is what this is. Like anywhere where we're overly attached or surrendering to some type of toxic underworld energy that was holding down our vibration and keeping us from being able to resonate with our baseline, you know what I mean? Like our true vibration. Anywhere where past unhealed traumas or pains or attachments or lack within us was preventing us from aligning with our own authentic frequency. This is what we are escaping from, okay, in this energy, and moving towards an energetic frequency-based expression of our true authentic frequency, which then is, because of where we're at right now, because the way that the energy, because of what energy is supporting and what energy is not supporting, the more that we align with our authentic frequency, the more that frequency will grow and will be blessed and will be supported and will be expanded, like literally as if by magic. This is like a period of time where The more you're living your truth, the more you're living in alignment with your truth, the more you are cultivating your authentic gifts, your authentic talents, your interests, your passions, the more you will find miraculously people, places, opportunities, options, circumstances sort of laying themselves out in front of you for you to like progress along that path. Whereas the more you fight those inner urges and those inner tendencies, and most importantly, sort of like that inner knowing, the more resistance and restriction and struggle and issues we're likely to come up against right now as universe is, because we are transitioning ages, because we are moving into the age of Aquarius, because of where we are at right now in that process, and because denialism is no longer supported. Anything fake, anything inauthentic, anything distorted, okay, anything inorganic is no longer supported, because universe wants to expand, universe wants to grow right now. We have a new age to get to, and we can't do that if we are refusing to adapt to this elevated frequency that is coming in, that is calling us back into that authentic alignment. So, you know, we can't, like, the more we try to freeze the past and the present, the more it's likely to work against us in terms of our experiences. The more we are willing to go with the flow of the way that energy is unfolding right now, the more we will be supported in our endeavors towards activating our destiny, as that is what universe is supported right now as we exit the Kali Yuga energy and as we head towards the Great Awakening associated with the Age of Aquarius, which is moving us to like a much more elevated level of consciousness. It's a collective evolution of humanity, of our planet, of, you know, this section of our universe in alignment with this cosmic blueprint. So all that being said, that's where we're at this week, you guys. It should be kind of, it could possibly be, you know, an intense week. There could be these very powerful, like I said, interplays sort of going on between people. Pluto and Venus in opposition. This can create, you know, just a lot of intensity in relationship dynamics or in regards to finances and stuff like that. But it is this karmic detox. As I said, you know, the North Node, if you guys been following me, you know, the North Node is also at the Chiron point right now, which brings in all the Chiron themes and archetypes, which I'm not going to go into right now because I have done a lot of other videos talking about that. If you guys go back and watch my video about Jupiter and the North Node in a conjunction from the other day, that I talked and got into a lot of the Chiron mythology, and I talked all about this energy. But essentially, you know, Chiron, the wounded healer teacher, this is also about a fated healing and soul release from karmic wounds that have been pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the Sabian symbol associated with the Chiron point, keeping us from recognizing like our true value or our true worth, and, you know, what we can do, what we can grow, what we can become with that, in the context of universe compelling us right now to activate our destiny, to get it together, to get in alignment so that we can play our role in this collective evolution right now, as one by one, every human frequency is recalibrated to the incoming Age of Aquarius frequencies. And that is how, you know, as above, so below, we actually help to create the Age of Aquarius. Like I've said, this is a multi-100-year process. Not everybody's getting it once. It's not like we all wake up one day. No, it requires the hero's journey. It requires tremendous amounts of, you know, shadow work and, you know, all that whole everything that we talk about constantly as well. And we're not going to get into specifically in this video. But, you know, this week, what old scars on our heart are still unhealed, and how has that been impacting us? How has that been keeping us attached or enslaved to a mindset or a reality or a relationship or a financial situation or a circumstance that has been stealing our power, that has been limiting our potential? Again, staring into the darkness of our past selves, of our past patterns, choosing our future. So powerful and intense experiences could characterize this week, you guys. Could be a transformative day, transformative week, especially again in terms of relationships and matters of the heart, or it just could be some of these more intense, powerful interactions with others that are going on. With Uranus and Mercury together, there could definitely be a unexpected, shocking sort of nature to this type of stuff as it's coming together as well. Ultimately, again, this is part of this karmic detox and this karmic cleansing as we close out this 1.5 year transit that has been doing that for us. So it's, again, this week, and the energy coming through this week is directly related to a lot of the things that we've been detaching and moving away from on a heart, soul, value, worth-based level over this past 1.5 years. So think about what's been going on for you over the past 1.5 years. There could be something happening this week that is sort of finalizing that, or that is making you feel like you are really ready, or a new person as a result of that as well. Redefining our reality, right? Like I was talking about for this month of June energy, and healing or releasing some of these attachments or some of these wounds that had been keeping us attached to those past versions of ourselves or those past scenarios. Now let's talk specifically, you guys, about the energy for today, for Monday the 5th. This day is actually, as we're starting this week, this is a very productive energy. We have the moon transiting the sign of Capricorn. This is going to be a really good day to work towards your goals, to get some work done, to make some progress towards something, to get some, it's like concentrating, and like some type of focused effort is supported in this energy. It's probably a very busy day because of Mercury and Uranus in the conjunction, and there probably is a lot that we need to get done, but our efforts to be productive are being supported in the energy on Monday for successful and positive outcomes. We've got the moon in the sign of Capricorn making a sextile to Saturn, who rules the sign of Capricorn in Pisces. So this is supporting, okay, anything to do with authority, anything to do with like rules or something like that, any work that we are trying to get done. This is going to help that process. And the moon is also in Capricorn forming a trine to Jupiter and the north node in the sign of Taurus. So again, this is like expanding something in a positive way for us in relation to what we're working towards, to what we're working on, goals, creativity again, projects, work, anything like that. Supported. Any type of business, planning, meeting, things to do with like officialdom or authority, government, projects, paperwork, this stuff will go well today on Monday. Face minimal resistance generally. Great day to get organized, get things done, be productive, because with the sextile from Saturn, this is like very positive support, okay? And then the trine to Jupiter, this is like things going well, things being successful. And then with the north node there as well, this is almost like things coming together in some type of divine timing to facilitate anything that we are like trying to bring into creation or to fruition, or trying to manifest or form or create or build or lay a foundation for structure right now. Very supported self-control in this energy, emotional control also of of ourselves, emotional maturity. This is also supported. And you know, that could be another dimension of things as we are starting this week that is characterized by this energy and Venus moving to 0 degrees of Leo, hitting the exact opposition to Pluto. There is an inner authority that is being supported as well with the moon in the sign of Capricorn, and an emotional maturity that is being very supported and very facilitated in the context of whatever it is that we're detaching from. Remember, like, it's Venus and Pluto in the opposition, the north node in Taurus, Venus, the south node in Scorpio, Pluto, but who is right there by the north node in the sign of Taurus? That's Jupiter. That's expansion. That's luck. That's blessings. So it's like the more future focused that we are in this energy, the more that we are forward looking and forward oriented, forward moving, the more successful, the more expansive we're going to be. And then with the moon forming the trine to the north node in Jupiter as well, and the sextile to Saturn, it's like the more in control of our emotions and the more emotionally mature or emotionally responsible, or just the more that we are sort of exercising like a sense of self-discipline or our own inner authority, like the better this whole process is going to go, the more facilitated and the more expanded the blessings associated with whatever is happening right now are going to be for us. So as long as we're looking forward, as long as we're moving forward, as long as we are not falling back into past temptations about things or past attachments or past cycles, good things are really trying to come to us, and we are being very supported in the energy on Monday in terms of being our own boss, being our own authority, standing in our power, making the right decisions, making the right choices, moving forward, being emotionally detached also with the moon in the sign of Capricorn and the sextile to Saturn and Pisces in a way that is very productive to our growth in this new direction in alignment with our true potential. That is, and value all that stuff that is trying to come through right now. So this is really a powerful day that we have going on. Our efforts are supported, and of course, you know, then we come back to the big news of the day, being that Venus is moving into the sign of Leo, putting her into the exact opposition with Pluto. So Monday is the day, while this whole week is characterized by this grand cross, fixed signs as a result of Venus, Monday is the day where we have Venus in the exact opposition to Pluto. So I really actually do like the Capricorn placement of the moon in the context of what this energy is trying to do for us, because we should be able to not be so emotionally driven in the energy. We should have a more detached emotional perspective of things that helps us to actually like deal with things from a more like logical, rational, and less like compulsively driven type of vibe, because Venus and Pluto in opposition, this can be a very compulsive vibe. And like, let's say we had a Scorpio moon going on today instead of a Capricorn moon, we might really be finding ourselves struggling not to get pulled back or seduced back into like past temptations. But with the Capricorn moon there in the sextile of Saturn and the trine to Jupiter North Node, this is facilitating our ability to stand in our own, like, be our own inner authority and like not be swayed by emotional reactions and emotional responses and stuff that may in other circumstances have had a greater level of power over us. We are taking back our power today. We are in charge. We are the boss. And we're just not playing those games anymore, really. We're playing the games that we want to play with Venus and Mars moving in the sign of Leo right now. So figure out where you have Leo in your chart, because this could be useful. So really, you know, I think that's basically all I have to say today for the energy issues, again, surrounding value, possessions, power, the power of love, specifically when we're talking about Venus and Pluto. But, you know, I mean, now we kind of come back to the energy as it's coming through this entire week, and this grand cross is being triggered all week as the moon transits, you know, through the zodiac this week. It is going to activate, you know, the moon will come into a conjunction with Pluto and it will square the nodes and oppose Venus, and like later this week Venus will move and she will be an exact, she will no longer be an exact opposition to Pluto, but she will be an exact square to the nodes. So this is kind of just like a progressing energy that we're dealing in all week. It will fade the closer to the weekend that we get, but it's real heavy, real tight, real strong as we are starting out this week. And again, this energy is directly related to bringing to the end things that we have been detaching ourselves from, and simultaneously in the process of like growing out of things that we have been detaching ourselves from, and also things that we've been like striving to become are both kind of coming into fruition simultaneously this week. And like I said, what was it that I wrote? Reinforcing these like redefinitions of ourselves that we have been maybe struggling with up until this point of time as well. So that is what I'm gonna say for the energy as it's coming together today, you guys. We want to stay grounded because of this Mercury Uranus energy. Expect the unexpected, try to be adaptable, try to go with the flow of things, but it's really all about like this authentic alignment, you know, what is lighting us up with Venus entering the sign of Leo, and what we are finally ready to become, to create, to grow into. So we are heading towards some very creative energy, you guys, very positive energy in terms of this Leo, these Leo vibes, this like feeling on fire, feeling alive, feeling reinvigorated type of energy. And it should, for the most part, be, I feel like, a pretty good week. So that's what we're going to say for astrology today. Let's talk about the tarot for a minute. The tarot message is literally saying the exact same thing that I feel like the astrology is referencing today. Like, literally, we've got the Wheel of Fortune coming through on the back of the deck. So we are talking about energy that is referencing an element of fate, an element of destiny, sort of like the tables turning, like karma, like things being realigned. And I feel like this karmic detox process is very, very significant in the energy this week. Now, we had the first card coming out. We have the Page of Wands in reverse, followed by the Ace of Pentacles. Now, I feel like in the context of the energy that we have present right now, that this is talking about like the value, right? The Ace of Pentacles, this new opportunity or this new project or this new value or worth that we're discovering now is in direct sort of like contradiction to perhaps some ego attachments that we may have been like superficially attached to in the past. For me, the way that energy is presenting on an astrological level right now, in the context of these two cards presenting first, I feel like this is talking about like removing the superficial layer of things, okay, that had been blocking true potential, true value, true worth, true opportunities. In a way, okay, then let's talk about the next card that is coming out. We've got the Justice card and we've got the World, okay? In a way that rebalances things, rebalances the karmic scales, right? We're talking about justice. This is also Libra energy, which is Venus energy. And then we're talking about the World. The World card in tarot is all about the completion of a cycle. Coming to the end of some type of karmic cycle where we were overly attached to a more superficial dynamic or component of something out of a lack of recognition of true value, true worth, which is presenting itself to us now, perhaps miraculously, as if by some type of hand, just showing it to us, coming down from the sky. And that sort of like flipping our past perception of the more like frivolous natures of our desires and passions and stuff like that, the more ego-based attachments on its head, okay, showing us true value, real value, which is creating some type of karmic reckoning, karmic balancing, rebalancing effect somehow. That is putting things right and bringing this karmic cycle to an end. And remember, like I said, on the back of the deck, we had the Wheel of Fortune happening in this fated, destined way. Under that, we had the Page of Cups in reverse. So we've got the Page of Wands in reverse, we've got the Page of Cups in reverse, and then under that, we have the Two of Cups. This, why? So that we stop taking less than what it is that is truly a reflection of our authentic self, of our authentic vibration, so that we no longer accept what is not truly in alignment with us on that soul-based frequency level. This energy, Scorpio and Taurus, this is loss to gain. This is sacrifice to grow. This is, losing something in order to gain everything. And that's what these cards are saying too. And that's what this energy is saying. It's like we've come to a point in time where we need to come to realize perhaps that a lot of the circumstances in our lives, or what we've created for ourselves, may not be a reflection of our true self. And if we find ourselves perpetually unhappy or depressed or like anxious or feeling any of these negative emotions as primary emotions that we deal with on a regular basis, it's likely to be because the world that we are living in is not a reflection of who we truly are. And in order to sort of flip that on its head and get back into alignment with what it is that we're really supposed to be doing, like our true purpose, our true potential, we've got to stop aligning with these lower ego-based like tendencies, okay? These surface level things that we maybe have used to sort of feed ourselves or to feel good or whatever. We've got to stop accepting less than what it is that we know we truly deserve. And as we go through that process, things are going to be rebalanced for us, you guys, in a way that is going to help universe bring to us a reflection of what will truly be fulfilling for us on those soul-based levels. Because if we are not living in authentic truth, if an aspect of our manifesting in the world is based on a misunderstanding of ourselves, or detachment from our true selves, or a distorted frequency that we live in as a result of these unhealed traumas and stuff, we are going to attract and manifest a reflection of that, which is not who we really are, which is not who we were ever meant to be, and which is why a lot of times we find ourselves in situations where we just, no matter what we do, we can't seem to feel fulfilled or find happiness. And this is the point in time where we really need to sort of reassess, okay, if the relationship that we have with ourselves is based on personal truths or is based on a need to be seen or perceived a certain way in order to receive some type of an external validation. And if that is the case, you know, how is that contributing to an inability to feel like whole and fulfilled and at peace and balance like within ourselves, and how is it contributing to the perpetuation of these cycles and patterns that keep playing out over and over and over again in our lives and in our relationships and in our circumstances generally. So that's what I'm saying today, you guys. I feel like that's the message. I feel like that's the vibe. I feel like that's like the universal lesson right now. And let's grab one more piece of advice. Synchronicity card, God, Spirit, Universe. What do we need to know? What can benefit us as we're going through this energy? What should we, you know, what should we keep in mind? Root out negativity. There you go, you guys. Actually, I had 3. This video is already so long, but I have these 3 staring at me and they all seem to be like perfectly good. So I'm going to read them all really fast. We've got root out negativity. We've got seek inner strength. And we've got forget the past. So all of these things, you know, that's like what I've been saying, you know, forget the past. And what do we need to do that? We need to root out negativity and we need to seek inner strength. So let's read these cards, you guys. Forget the past. Remember yet not the former things. Isaiah 43:18. Walk in love. Ephesians 5:2. Strive for goodwill to all men. Exhibit good spirit and salute God in all those you meet. Forget the past. The past is dead. Nothing matters but this moment. Change your present thoughts and keep them changed, and you will change your destiny. That's literally the theme right now, you guys. Like I've been saying for this whole time, we need to root out negativity. Root out, pull down, destroy. Jeremiah 1:10. You must root out, pull down, and destroy all of your negative attitudes, false beliefs, erroneous opinions, and ill will of every kind. You must completely alter the way you do things in your home and business. Do everything from the standpoint of the law of love and divine harmony. You will experience an enormous change in all phases of your life. You will meet all problems with faith in God, and you will overcome. Again, this is what I'm talking about. This is how we change our frequency. This is how we alchemize, okay? This is crucial advice right now. If you're struggling with what I've been talking about in the report today, I would highly recommend, you know, taking a screenshot of this, reading this card, because this is one of the ways that we alchemize our vibration and release ourselves from that karmic cycle, okay? Seek inner strength. Give me this water that I thirst not. John 4:15. You are thirsting for values in your life. You are not using the wisdom and guidance of your subconscious when you don't think right, feel right, and act right. The mass mind impinges upon your mind, and the result is confusion and failure. All wisdom, knowledge, and power are within your mind. You know the difference. You know the values you need to uphold. Turn away from the mass mind and go within to what you know is right. Again, this is just, you know, it's all coming together. The message is very, very clear. We need to find our authentic truth. We need to stand in our authentic truth. We need to take back our power. We need to stop living for external validation. We need to realize and trust that once we gear ourselves towards like our own truth and our own destiny and our own potential, and this is also, you know, this creative energy that is coming through this summer. It's about us being less like unconscious consumer and more conscious creator of our own experience. We've got to become the generators, you guys, and we've got to do it from this place of faith and trust that as we are doing it, that is what is being blessed, that is what is being supported, and that is what is going to grow in a positive direction for us. So I'm going to stop talking now, you guys. I hope you liked it. That's what I have to say for today and to start our week. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they would appreciate this type of content as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I am so grateful for all of you. I truly, truly value you so much. Your feedback means a lot to me, and I love knowing if you guys are having experiences that match up with what I'm talking about as this energy is coming through. So let me know in the comment section below if you are vibing with what I have been talking about. Let me know. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, an Instagram, and some other social medias in my description box below. I post this whiteboard information over there. If you are interested in knowing what all of that says, that's where you will find it. And come back with me, you guys. I believe I will be back on Wednesday. We are going to be talking more about this energy, as this whole week, as I said, is really characterized by sort of this grand cross that is being reactivated, and Venus will be moving into exact square with the nodes coming up here over this next couple days. So I will be back to talk about it. You should be here too. I'll tell you what you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss that. So I will see you then. Have a beautiful Monday, you guys. And until next time, bye.